the skills that you use to cross over PDT can be the same skills to cross a million.
And this is my first loss. Previously, I had an 8-day win streak. I'm totally fine with it because I learned, I need to have a full plan before jumping into a stock.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to episode 2 of the Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. My name is Lance, and I'm here with Zander, Alex, Josh, Sam, and James. You guys met Josh and James in the intro video, but you guys have not met Sam yet. So in a second, he's going to do his own little intro video. Today, we're going to be talking about some OTC listed market conditions. We're going to go over kind of like a personal recap for the week. Then we're going to talk about some trades and whatever thoughts are on our mind. And then after that, we're going to follow into an open discussion. And to close us out, we will be talking about the stocks we'll be watching for the current week. So first things first, Sam is going to introduce himself, and let's get right into it.
Hey guys, I'm Sam. I'm 17 years old. Been trading for 1 year. I pretty much only play long strategies, listed in OTC stocks. I'm still working on my strategy, still trying to refine my trades, just get that ideal risk reward. I've been with Next Gen Traders for a couple months, and I'm glad I am. We're all just dedicated, constantly improving. So, yep, that's me.
Cool. I don't have much to say over the week, but I just followed the process that I know, and it turned out well. I don't have any updates that I need to tell you guys about.
Yeah, me neither. Not much to report. Just doing some outside work to add some more funds to my trading account. So that's always exciting. And yeah, just following up with the process, trying to get better every single day. And yeah, not much to say. That's new.
So for me, this week, I finally graduated from high school. So now I finally have some free time. I'm gonna have some free time this summer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Before going to college. Yeah, and also, so next week I'll be in a different country, in Moscow. So I'm gonna have different time zones. So I think when we're gonna record, it's gonna be night there. So we're gonna have a background. Yeah. Then
3 in the morning.
Yeah, like 3 a.m. maybe.
Gosh.
So trading wise, nothing really special. I want to like transition more to the listed market, so I'm starting to track the new patterns that I learned from different like DVDs. So yeah, nothing special more here.
As for me, this last week, I watched the market every day. Didn't take any trades, though. I just finished moving, so I was a little busy, so I don't really have my full setup set up yet. So I haven't really been able to make any trades, but I'm only able to be active in the market for about the first hour every day. Other than that, there's not much I can do just because of my current work schedule. So I'm kind of just waiting. Next week it'll change though, because I get a new work schedule. So then I'll be able to be fully active in the market for 2 full days, and then about 3 hours every single day throughout the week. So starting the 21st, my market conditions will definitely change and more trades will be taken.
Cool.
Josh, you got anything?
As of now, like last week, I had a big loss that wiped out 2 weeks of gains, so I made half of it back. So this week I'll just focus on getting back to where I was 2 weeks ago. Just size down, and yeah, that's it basically.
Awesome. Alex, you want to get into the OTC market?
I think we should talk about Sam, like his week. How's went? Sam, you have something?
Oh, my bad. Sam, did you not go?
Yeah, like trading wise.
Oh yeah. So this week I took, as you all know, but the audience doesn't know, I took multiple trades. Some of them I'm not too proud of, but some of them did work out and they're green. Pretty much the market was a little bit slow in my opinion. There's still opportunities out there, but I started scalping a little bit more than I would have liked. It worked out to where I was green on the week and I grew my account like 6%, so it wasn't too bad. But I need to be conservative and not overtrade so much. I had 2 good trades that I liked, but that pretty much sums it up for me.
Okay, cool. So
Awesome.
market right here. Again, nothing special, but not that slow either. We have some move to the runners setting up for potential moves, potential panics, even some breakouts. Just as I said the last episode, just don't predict, as I'll talk about in my trades. Like don't predict the moves and also the volume. So you just like react to the market themselves, like the price action, and then you just take what works. So let's see what's in the listed market.
Yeah, so the listed market is still pretty hot. The meme stocks did die down, although they do have some meat left. So if you're short, then you're probably hitting the pops on them, which I am. I'm not playing them just because I like different types of setups than after these meme stocks have done. They're kind of more random now, but they have actually brought like a lot more volume to the market now. And I mean, it's just allowing us to get a lot of plays and runners. And I'm hoping for a multi-day runner because I'm getting really into first red day setups. So I'm ready for them. Yeah. So first, I guess I'll go first in explaining a couple of my trades this week, which does include a loss of my win streak, which is pretty interesting. Let me share my screen here. So I have traded this stock the most. Like I've traded this stock a lot of times. I think like 4 or 5 times now, and they've all been profitable. But this one I got kind of lucky, and also like I'm glad I got out at the time I did. So as I talked about in the last video, that my setup is like a death candle or a huge just like stuff candle through VWAP, and that like a sharp turn. So it kind of indicates a trend change. And we were going up from pre-market. But this one, I didn't like the price action. Once I got in, I kind of missed this initial pop, but I mean, usually it's fine to get in a little after as long as it hasn't like reclaimed yet. So I got in at this pop at VWAP, and a lot of other traders did this too in MIC, and so it was good. But I decided like pretty much right away that I didn't like the price action. It was kind of holding up. With these kind of plays, I wanted to wash out instantly, or not instantly, at least pretty quickly. I don't like to hold up because that does look like it's going to reclaim, and so I decided just to get out. But something good, what I did was I wasn't impatient. I was like, bam, I want out. What I did was just set a price level a little above like support in this kind of area. And I mean, I just got out. I got out for a profit just by being a little patient. My hard stop was the top of this death candle, which is 16.7. I don't know if this was actually a death candle. It's just a big red candle. A death candle is like the biggest red candle on the day, so that's why I'm saying I don't know if it was a death candle, but I usually risk the top of it. But yeah, I think that was a good trade because I got out right away as soon as I recognized that I didn't like it. My next trade was Root, and this was my favorite trade in the listed market to date. That's because MIC was not even talking about this one, and only a couple other people traded it, which is awesome. And I mean, so basically what it was it was running up 1, 2, and this was a green day, so 3 days. And so I was watching for a first red day. And why I was prepared for this one was because there was a really similar play, and it was NEXT. So we had this one green day, the second green day, and it kind of just consolidated all day this day. And pre-market, it broke down, and I kind of paper traded it because the beginning of the week I didn't have any day trades. So I hit the pops on this one to VWAP, covered on the washes, and this was just a paper trade. But when I saw Root, I was like, wow, this is identical to NEXT. And so I was ready to hit the pops, and that's exactly what I did. Me and Sam Testament also traded this one, and we have pretty much the same executions. But let me talk about my psychology in this trade. So it's a first red day setup. It was breaking down pre-market, and so my plan was just to hit the pops, hit the pop to VWAP specifically. And what was so good about this was, we tried to push up here, and then we just totally stuffed. I know a couple MIC members actually shorted up here on this pop, which was the red to green line, which is awesome. Awesome. But I missed that and I wasn't prepared for that. But I did hit the pop on VWAP like my original plan was, and I covered on the washes. But like I talked about in the last episode, that my new plan was to, hold a little bit of shares for an all-day fade or like another move down. Usually I sell a lot of the shares I have by the second wash. So, 1, 2. But this one was kind of, it was low volume. And so I thought it could be manipulated a little easier. And so I decided just to cover and take all out, which in hindsight, that was not the best idea. I was kind of impatient. But I mean, it was a great trade nonetheless because I planned it like the day before, and I was just prepared for it. The last trade was gray, and this is my first loss. Previously, I had an 8-day win streak, but this was my first loss. And I was looking at another stock, but I heard about this one where it had a big red candle on open. And as you can see that, I mean, it doesn't look that big now. In hindsight, it was not that big. But I treated it as a death candle setup, which means you short the pop. And so that's what I did. At this point, I was looking here. I was like, oh, big red candle on open. I'm going to short the pop. But what I didn't realize was that, I mean, it's not really a big candle. And a lot of people in MIC nailed this stock by just waiting for the pop to VWAP. So I had a totally wrong thesis. What I did right in this trade was cut it when my thesis was wrong. But, I don't know. It wasn't, I didn't take the time to plan this trade. And I think that's why it was my first loss. I'm totally fine with it because I learned, I need to have a full plan before jumping into a stock. I think I got into this with like 5-minute notice or something. But yeah, I mean, just have a plan every time. This is just like a little overview. And also another note is, as you can see, my red day is bigger than my 2 green days. And that's because on these 2 days, I used, smaller size. And on this setup, I think I unintentionally sized up. And that's a note I want to put out where you guys should, use the same size every time so that like randomly when your losses are big, they're not going to overtake your gains. So make sure you're like consistent with your size and consistent with your risk. But overall, pretty good trading. I'm excited for next week.
I want to add here. So like last week, I remember you said that like you had all wins and you wanted to have a loss.
Yeah.
So you just lost once, and I think you learned like a big lesson.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna you're just gonna like use like this loss to like prevent the other losses. So
Yeah, for
you
sure.
can clearly see what was wrong. Just analyze,
Yeah, and I mean, jumping into the trade was what was wrong. I should have had a full plan.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize where VWAP was. I thought it would be like, I didn't even notice. I just kind of jumped in because I was like, oh, death candle setup. I got to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what you should do.
Yeah, Zander, it's really important that you weren't stubborn about taking that loss either. Instead of like saying, oh, let me just wait until it gets to VWAP and see what happens. That's how you can really damage your account. So good job on that. But yeah, so I guess I'm next. Zander, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay, so I only made 1 trade this week on SIRC. I'll change my screen and I'll share my screen in a second. But even though I missed a lot of them, I only made 1 trade. And I'll get into why I missed a lot of them in a second. So this is SIRC. Before I get into my trade, I just want to take a second and show how much of a beautiful example this stock is of the 7-step framework. If you don't know what the 7-step framework is, Tim Sykes can teach you. He'll probably get mad at you in the process, but yeah, there's that. So here's like the perfect number 1, 2, 3 into the ramp, 4, 5 into a panic dip buy, and we're in 6, kind of like a dead cat bounce right now. So here's my entry down here. There was a breakout level right here around 70 cents. So here's the intraday. It was running up into the close. Here's the open. Honestly, if I were to take this trade again, I either would have entered earlier or not traded it at all. I kind of just, so, I mean, here's the high of the day. Here was my entry. So I entered basically right at the high of the day. As you can see, the volume was pretty weak. And so I entered here, went down. My risk was 69 cents, just so you know. Went down for a little pullback, went up to 73, and then instantly started downtrending. My risk was 69, but I cut it early at 71. It was just having weakness that I did not like. I cut my loss quickly. Yeah, the high day, the previous high day breakout just didn't happen, and that's completely okay. I cut my loss quickly and then just move on to the next. So yeah, there's really not much I can say about that. So let me come back here really quick, and then I just have some notes that I have. Okay, so so my main lessons for myself for the week was I'm far too focused on things being absolutely perfect. Like I'm way too focused on seeing I'm saying to myself like, oh, I need this exact volume ramp to happen. I need this volume to come in. I need the level 2 to do exactly this. I need to see the flood of buyers. I need to see an exact trend line. I need to see my exact support and resistance lines met. I need to have the exact entries and exits that I want. And I'm just trying to make everything so perfect and to the T when that's not how it should be. Don't get me wrong, you have to check your boxes for your setup. And you have to make sure that your setup is there and not just aimlessly run into a trade. But for myself, I've been missing so many trades. What I've been doing is I write a paragraph after every single day of why I missed a specific trade. And I've written probably 20 of those paragraphs this week. And because I've had so many setups that I was looking for perfection when it's not there. So it's never going to be perfect. None of this is an exact science. And that's what I just have to have in my head, because if I make a trade, it's never going to be perfect. Maybe there's that once in a lifetime black swan, a stock that goes from 5 to 100 and I catch it somewhere in between and it's a super easy trade, but it's not an exact science. Nothing is perfect. So it's just important to have your setup there and then to carry out that trade. And it's important for me, something that I've been fighting lately was to, it kind of ties in, is to not find one last second reason not to enter a trade. Like I'll have my setup there and at the last second I'll be like, wait a minute, this isn't right. That kind of ties with going back into perfection that I'm looking for, but I can't be looking for that all the time because it's not an exact science. Like I said before, it's important that when I start entering my trades that I enter that carefree state of mind so that you're only focused on that trade, have a carefree state of mind in order to approach your trades in a more objective way, not let your emotions flow up and down with your P&L, and just let my executions flow with my setups that are there. So I think once I get that psychology down, I'll be in a much better place, because trading psychology is much more important than a lot of people realize. And it's very, very important to grasp that concept. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, so
Nice.
now let me go over my trades. I'll share my screen. So yeah, I had the same trade as Lance here on the first green day, and I just want to say one important thing right here. Is that, one sec? Yeah. So it wasn't. It didn't work out, and I think the only reason was the volume. We both, me and Lance, we waited for this play. We saw the first panic. I mean spike, then the drop and this consolidation. So we just thought it's gonna break high day and go more, but we didn't put much attention to the volume compared to like its previous volume. So here, see, I bought on even though there was some volume here on this 1 minute candle, but after that it was just illiquid, like very liquid. The level 2 wasn't great at all. So I also got it before my risk, because the level 2 is just so ugly right here, and you can see that after that it broke our risk, so we would have got it for a bigger loss. So we just analyzed the level 2, the overall price action, and that's why we got out before our risk. Yeah, and I talked about in my last week's trade, I had MJML, and I had the same mistake with volume. So I should have just took a note of my last trade, and I would have entered this one. My last trade, I had only 2 trades. My last trade was on OPTI. It was the first green day overnight hold. Back in February, that was one of my main patterns. During March, April and even May, this pattern just wasn't working. And then in the beginning of June, like some of them worked. So, and then plus look at the volume this stock had. So all the indicators were there. You had good news. Volume was there, close strong, like everything you want to ask for. So I got here before the close, like here. So that was like 20 minutes before the close, and I got the first pop here. So even I held this this pull because my risk was 97. Then it closed like, so I was like a little bit up. Then right in the morning, I saw the gap up, but I just saw that there was a lot of sellers, so it literally dumped right away. I think Tim Sykes over here, and he called the ones who held overnight. He said over aggressive newbies. I don't agree with that, but whatever he wants to call us. So I had one stupid mistake right here. So at about 97, I put my sell order and see how 0.09. I put it at 0.997. And then I was like, why am I not getting exit?
Oh yeah, I
Like,
remember
get
that.
me out. And then I like nothing happened here. Like I was just watching the level 2. They like the bidders were at my price, but like 10 times less. So I got nothing, and then I realized at the bottom, realized here. Then I got out right here. So then I was like, okay, I'm down. Like that's all. And then I saw my position, like on my P&L, and it was still moving. Then I saw that I only sold 1,000 shares because that was like a default number of shares. I didn't change that. So I yeah, also I had 5,000. So I sold like a less than a 20%. So I was like happy because it actually bounced right here, but I still couldn't sell there. So I just sold it here for like that was 1% loss. But the only thing was that I traded it 3 times. So that means I paid 3 times the commissions. So that's why I lost like $1, but with all the commission that was $25 loss. So that's insane. That's only because of the thing that OTC's commissions. I mean, the only good thing is because I sold here, now like my commissions reduced a little bit. So yeah, uh, that was the only, so yeah, 2 losses this week. Nothing. So I'm not like discouraged because I only look at my nominal P&L like without commissions. So without commissions, I'm up, and that's the only thing I care because once I scale up, like the
The
commissions
commissions won't
aren't
mean much.
because they won't scale up, so they just stay the same.
Mhm.
Maybe if I buy like more like 3 times, like scale into trade, but still it won't matter that much. So yeah, and you can see that you just failed. Yeah, the first game they failed right here. Tim made money, I lost money, but I learned the lesson. So staying away from this pattern. Yeah. So
So you
yeah,
won
that was
technically.
my take. Yeah. No, that was a 1% loss. Yeah. So that was a loss, but still.
So I had a break-even trade this week on BlackBerry. Not much to see there, but I had 2 trades on ENTC. This one was a morning panic. Help them out because on my stats that I have for a spreadsheet, it works 2/3 of the time, but it's kind of altered because this was all in February. The majority of it was in February, so it's still a little weighted for that. So this is when I realized that it wasn't working too well because I bought it here. I had to sell it like 2 minutes later, and good thing I did because it just continued to drop and fade the whole day. And then a few days later, I traded it again. I was a little impatient because I bought the morning panic here. I sold about here. It was about 8% win. I should have bought right here. I was contemplating it for the red-green move, and it did break red-green. And yeah, it just spiked however much percent that was. I believe it was 23 at the time. And I would have taken profits right there or about right here. And then I also had an SENS trade. Yeah, I had 2. This one was break even. I didn't have the patience to hold it. This one was also morning panic. Literally, I sold in 2 minutes. And yeah, there was one more. Yeah, DPLS, I had a trade as well. I bought around here, sold at the bottom actually over here. It was a swing, but it was only roughly $500 position. So I bought once it broke this level around 0.025. I held through the chop because I had a small position in comparison to what I normally hold with. And I actually ended up selling for a small profit over here. Should have sold, hindsight, roughly around here, ideally right here. Or I could have held the next day. But yeah, I just learned a lot from that. And those are my trades this week.
So this is AITX. Let's see, I'll get a daily chart. So it had a first screen day right here on the 4th. And I was watching it all day. And it had good news, and it's also a former runner. So I was looking to take it long overnight. And I saw Alex had traded this too. And I went long. It was right here. Wait, Alex, you said when?
Yeah, we talked about that, how you like in the last episode we said how you like I sold there and then you bought like in like after like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Samuel action taker.
So yeah. Well, you sold and you said something about your trend line.
Yeah,
and I
you
had a
had the
trend line up too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why,
and it was weird.
That's what I learned.
Yeah. But I went long right in here, and it finished right at the day high. And the next morning, I sold at 75 or 0.075, took profits, and I mean I locked in profits, but it came down and held red green and just went all the way to the 80s. So should have held that longer, but I like that trade. And then this week I also had CLOV, and let's see if I can remember. Yeah, it had a decent spike here. I went
Hey,
long.
Sam, wait, don't forget to say you also sold that by the pool.
Oh, yeah.
AITX by the pool.
By the way, in Florida, had to flex that.
Wait,
So this is just going off.
Are you back home?
Yeah,
now?
I'm home.
Okay.
I'm home now, yeah. But this is just purely Tim Sykes' 7-step framework. You have the 3 right here, number 4. And I saw this first screen day and a little bit of volume come in. And I went for the number 5 bounce pattern. And I missed it. It was all in here. You got this great spike. But then in the afternoon, let's see, where did I get in at? Okay, so I started in right here. I got in at 15.11, and I went with like $1,500 position size, because it was holding the support here in the low 15s, and we immediately got a little ramp up to 15.62, and I sold at 15.61, and in chat, Lance was like, "Sam, you top ticked that. How'd you do that?" And what I was going off of was you have these 2 tops right here. And I was just
like a
figuring
top.
that it was going to top. Yeah. I just figured it was going to top right here. And it turns out I was right. So that was a small percent win, but it was still a green trade. And so I stayed up on the week. So that's all I got.
Cool.
So now we're just going to get into a little open discussion, talk about anything that's on our mind. And then after that, we'll get into some stocks that we're watching for the week. So if anyone has anything that they want to say, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. So really, I was able to get some money and I had a first account E-Trade, started at $2,000. I'm down like $322 on it. And then I got a second account and got some money to put me over the PDT. And I figured it would help. I think it's helped a little bit because I get to speed up on experience, and I get to
scalp too.
I get to scalp. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but my experience is building faster. I feel like as long as I can keep my trading like under control. So that's really the goal, is just to not overtrade and take advantage of opportunities as they arise. The market, I mean, obviously everyone knows that it isn't as hot as it was late 2020, early 2021, but there's still opportunities every week, and I just gotta capitalize off of them. So
I mean, Zander over here, he's a short seller, so he's finding some pretty good setups that he likes. So that's always good.
Yeah, and something I want to add is I can't get over PDT as of right now. I wish I could because I am a scalper basically.
Same.
So
Same.
I mean I wish because like if I was over PDT I could definitely do a lot more setups.
Yeah, just
like
scalp listed.
yeah, exactly. Like I really that's what I really want to do. But currently under PDT, so I have to, wait for the good setups, which are the first red days because they offer the most, meat, and they're pretty, if a stock is going red, then it's a high probability setup. But what I'm doing is I'm gonna open a second account, and so I'm gonna have 6 day trades, and I've talked with a couple of friends, and they say that they've done that too, and it's a really good way to, get more trades. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. But yeah, it's a super awesome idea to get 2 accounts. But I feel like being under PDT, working hard to get over PDT in the moment that it actually happens, it's gonna feel like such a huge moment in our trading careers when we get over PDT. That obviously doesn't mean to be like, oh, I'm over PDT, time to force more size. No, absolutely not. But I think it's just gonna feel like a good moment being like, yeah, I'm finally over PDT. Time to keep making good trades and just carry on with my setups. So
Yeah.
Or we can move to Canada too.
Yeah, I'm
Canada's
gonna,
not
I'm gonna do
PDT.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I've talked with a lot of traders, and I mean, they're like if you have a $5,000, $10,000 account, and you're using a big position size like to your account, then I mean getting over PET is probably going to be not too hard. But if you're like under $5,000 account and you're not using a big position size, I've talked with a lot of people. They say you have to be extremely patient. It's going to take like 2 to 3 years. So what I'm doing is, I mean, I'm working a job, so I'm literally adding in every single dollar to my account until I get over PET. I mean, I get that it's going to be a big moment when I go over PET if I wanted to do it by myself, but I'd rather, speed up the curve another like 2 years just to get over.
Yeah, for
yeah,
Kyle.
just keep setting those hard stops.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Williams actually took him 2 years to get over PDT, and then 2 years to go from PDT to millionaire. So that's the hardest part is PDT.
Yeah, I want to add here. So, I heard from many successful traders, they said that the moment that they crossed PDT, they started to even take less trades. Like they didn't feel that now they're free. Now they're like, I should take a little trade because in order to cross the PDT, you have to know
You have to
everything.
have the skills, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the skills that you use to cross over PDT gonna be the same skills to cross a million. So yeah, because when they cross PDT, they cross it not by just like taking a lot of trades, but taking like a small, like a small but like good trades. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I personally don't like. My dad also says I should not over PDT, but should add a little bit more money because I have only 1,500. I just say that I just want to grow that amount. Like I don't want to add anything because even if I add, for example, like 5,000, I'm not going to be using more than $1,000 position because I'm just not skilled that enough. Like I'm not skilled to use the big position sizes. I used to use like almost 1,000, but I'm just waiting for the market to show me when to size up. Yeah, I just don't want to force anything because if you use a bigger size, then you're gonna have a bigger losses. I'm not ready to take big losses.
Yeah, the only reason for you to size up is so you can get more trades because you're on a cash account.
Yeah, but that's another point because I have 1,500, then I can use my position size is 500, so that means 3 trades. So I can take like 1, and then the next day 2, then the next day 1, and that's enough for me because especially in this market, I take like maybe 1 a week, like once a week. So that's pretty good enough. Maybe when the market heats up, maybe I'll add another, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I wish there was a cash account for shorting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I am too, Alex. I could hit 3 trades in my account. Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
I agree with Lance whenever he said that it would be like it would just be super awesome to grind your account from a few thousand to over 25K. But I've been trading for a year with an account around $1,600, $1,700, and I would just go up and down. And then the last like couple months, I was getting a little bit more consistent. I'm thinking this is going to take like a really long time, making these $200 profits to get 25 grand. And so I thought just getting over PDT, it just kind of speed up progression for someone that not like, I don't know what I'm doing completely by all means. I'm not a pro yet, but for someone who can consistently make some smaller singles and profit a little bit, it just more trades. It speeds up your progress, in my opinion.
Yeah. Jack Kellogg and Ducks did the same thing, and it worked out for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and then there's Tim Grattani who turned
Yes.
1,500 into 13 mil,
Yeah.
so he never really added. So
Are you sure though?
Or
I feel
rolling
like he
4K to
added.
170.
No, he said that he just like he
Yeah,
just
he
had
just grew it. Yeah.
11,000
He
from
grew
his
it, yeah.
parents just to keep the account because
Oh,
he had two
right,
accounts.
right.
That-
He's
yeah,
his
that-
mom, his
so
parents.
that's actually the point. Like when I first met Sam, I said that I wanna, because I was paper trading back then, and I said that I wanna start with 3,000. But then I heard Tim. He always says whenever you wanna start with the amount, start like 10 times smaller. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna start with $100. So I
300.
just started with 15, and then also Gritani has the same number. So like
Mhm.
maybe something like has
The
here.
prophecy.
Yeah.
But Tim Grattani, like back in his day in 2012, in trading tickers, he says that he was just buying OTC promotions in the morning and selling to a morning
Oh, yeah.
spike. So like trading is still
Yeah,
hard.
but that was
Those
but
type
it's-
of patterns, like they're not the most difficult thing.
I mean,
then
dude,
that
he
was
had
one.
email lists on email lists. He had
Yeah.
so many stuff he was subscribed to, and then he'd be the first one in there and the first one out. So
Yeah, but that wasn't his
Yeah.
first pattern, because he said, you know how Tim always says, Tim Sachs, that Gritani hasn't made him a single dollar in 9 months. So only after that he started to make all the money.
Mm-hmm. From
That's
Matt
true. He
Monaco,
went
it was a
9
few
months.
years.
Huh? What?
For Matt Monaco and Kyle, it took them like 2 years before they
Yeah.
made money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam, I liked how you were talking about small gains adding up. No matter if you're under PDT, over PDT, you trade long, you trade short, OTC, listed, whatever. No matter what your account size is, or how much you trade with, or whether you long or short, the market can always whip you in the ass, no matter what you do, if you're not careful. So yeah, it's just important to remember to not be stubborn and stick to your risk. So
100%
Yeah.
true.
So we can move on to our predictions and our plans for next week. I just want to give a little update for myself. I don't know if anyone knew that I was on different strategies, but I'm gonna be focusing in on only the death candle setup, like I explained on my trades today,
Mhm.
because I mean I was trading some more, and I don't know if I explained what MIC calls low hanging fruit, but it's basically like a day one stock runs, and then it breaks down and either pre-market or the same day, and then day two there's so many trap longs up above, so any pop is just sold into. But that's what I was trading before, but the risk reward was absolutely horrible, because you would be scaling up and your risk would be way up here, but often the stock doesn't even go that far, so your winners are so tiny and your losers are max size. And so I just decided to cut that setup out, even though it's crazy high probability. So I'm just focusing on death candle setups, and I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be focusing on these ones for at least 3 trades, risking probably only $20-$30 a trade. But if I'm consistent with them, I'm probably gonna size up to 2% of my account, which is $50 risk. But for listed markets next week, I mean, I'm expecting there to be runners because the market is hot right now. So I'm just going to be prepared for any runners that I can short into on day 2.
awesome. Yeah, love it, man. When you were explaining to us the death candle through VWAP, I really when I start shorting in the future, that's definitely going to be one of the first plays that I learned, because I understood it really well when you were talking about it, and it seems like a very nice setup, and I'm glad to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing your progress with it too as we go along.
You and Sam's.
Yeah.
Sam too.
And Sam too, yeah.
That's
Sam
a
Testament.
request.
Short sellers are evil. Go long.
No.
I'm in a long plus short. That's balance in life,
Yeah.
So Lance, you have some watches for tomorrow?
So actually, I haven't made my watch list yet, so I'm gonna do that after. But I was on Friday. I was watching FBCD. It had a first green day with a little better volume than it has had in the past couple of days. But it's kind of like a red day, green day, red day, green day, Christmas type setup. So not really expecting anything huge. Yeah, again, I haven't really made my watch list yet, so I'm going to be looking at the stocks I'm watching for tonight, and yeah, just adapting to whatever the market gives me and taking those trades with my setups that are there. So that's basically it for me.
Sweet.
Yeah, for me, OTC wise, it's just DPLS and GOFF. But for listed, SENS is my main watch for a breakdown, so I could buy the dip because it's a multi-day runner, so it's bound to have a red day.
Yeah. So for me, I want to share my screen. Here. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
So we have GOFF. Just talk about it. So this one I want to talk about more as a missed opportunity. So here on 9th, I had it on my watch for potential breakout. But here on 10th, I had my graduation, so I missed that. But like I saw the price action, and I remember I said in the chat, I said that witnessing all these plays is almost equivalent to playing them, like knowledge-wise. Because like every play you see, then you'll be prepared for the next one. Like yeah. So now I have some specific ones. So I'm watching HTGQ for a breakout. I heard some of the traders, they're looking for a breakout, but all they need is a volume, because if it breaks without the volume, it's gonna stop because it's $7 OTC stock. So in order to like convincingly break out, you have to have a lot of volume, like at least like here, like 40 million maybe. So yeah, watching for that. Not getting in before the volume. That's my last trades. So then we have this one. This one has a nice here 15 day 50 minute. Here we have the first run up, then drop, and then consolidation right before the high. So just like a Jack Kellogg type play right here. We also need just the volume. We had the first green day, but that wasn't really a first green day because we didn't have a lot of volume here. So yeah, just watching for a volume to break over this high 79, and then if it breaks with a lot of volume, we can potentially go for a multi-month breakout here. Yeah, that's second watch. And the last one, this one just watching for a panic, obviously, nothing else, just panic. The volume is pretty decent. I thought right here is gonna dry up after this rollover, but it just re-break out, and so yeah, it just
Yeah, I have to add that one too.
yeah, just ridiculous, and it closed really well, closed on the high break right here. So watching, yeah, for maybe not like I'm not gonna play that because it's too low priced, but just watching, just watching, witnessing the plays, preparing for the next one, preparing for a winter trading when hopefully this pattern comes back. So yeah, these are my plays.
Yes, winter trading. We're also excited.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah, maybe I'll move over.
Oh.
I'm back.
I mean, if I see a clean panic, I'll jump in because I know I haven't lost any of my skill. I know how to read level 2. If I
Yeah, of course you never lose that. But the thing is, like, if you focus on, because it's a morning pattern and your pattern is also morning pattern.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
I mean, yeah, Zander, lucky for you, we can't just say, all right, let's just find a short setup really quick like you can with longs. Can't just be like, oh, awesome, first red day, let's short. Yeah, we can't do that.
So my main watch, I've got about 13 stocks I'm watching for next week, but I'm gonna watch DPLS. It's probably gonna have a morning panic soon, and CXW is a perfect multi-day breakout if it can get the volume. So pretty much it.
Awesome. Does anybody have anything else to add?
I think we covered it all.
Zander, you want to close this out?
Oh,
Alex, you got something?
Here. React, don't predict.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice one to close out.
Yep. Sounds
That's
good.
that's my favorite quote.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, this is a great episode. We went over a lot of good stuff, and we actually like have a lot of new people here. Like, you know, our full now everyone in the audience has seen our full group. This is everyone. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. And let us know in the comments what you learned. Like, give us the notes you took on this episode. We would love that. And I guess I think that's it, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, new video every weekend. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Also,
hit the notification bell. Never miss an episode.
Also, hello to those who are watching that like in 2024.
Yeah, hello
Hopefully we're
us.
successful by then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello, future us. Future us. Hello.
Tell us how to trade right. All right, cool.
See you around.
Awesome, guys. Great episode.
See you next
Cheers.
See you guys later.
See you later. Bye.